If you're a listener of From the Mouths of Madness podcast, I can only assume that you're also a diehard fan of horror movies like myself. My name is Matt Balea, and I own a company called To Die For. We make custom horror-inspired designs for shirts and much more. From original to exclusive content, we can get you whatever it is your dark heart might desire. Check us out at www.todieforshop.com. That's the number 2, die, the number 4, shop.com. Enjoy the show.
The views and opinions expressed on From the Mouths of Madness are that of the panel and not of the Geeks Under the Influence Network or their sponsors. Listeners, beware. Apparently, even in 2024, they have not. They were still utilizing the trope of off the beaten path with horror movies, and I guess people just don't learn their lesson. It's
just they don't go from point A to point B.
No,
pack a fucking lunch.
Yeah,
fill that tank.
Snacks before.
Fill that tank all the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yep, nope.
No. I'm hungry. Oh, nearest restaurant. Cool. Fucking 40 minutes off the interstate. What the fuck?
And back in the day when you had where they didn't have GPS, it's a map like, yeah, this whole area here is like just nothing. Like, huh. And they go, oh shit, maybe we should stop somewhere in this area that has nothing, no towns or anything like that. That's where we're gonna go.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I myself go, huh. Well, if we go another 15 miles, maybe there's something up here. Now let's stop at the one sketchy ass fucking diner, sketchy ass whatever. The map or GPS says there's nothing else around for a while, and I'm too impatient to wait, and I didn't plan ahead.
Yeah, it's like, no, but the 15 miles where there's actually like, the gas station on each corner, and there's, tractor trailers coming in and out. No, can't go there.
No.
Can't go there.
I would just stop here anyway. We already slowed the car down.
Like they even utilized the map thing, but on the on the app maps, where so there was nothing except for that restaurant.
Yep.
So it even did it. They even kept that going. I will say, okay, that is one thing though. It's like at least they did still utilize the trope in the shift in technology, and it's still it was a transition. They were still to make it creepy. I guess that was kind of that was a cool feat, But yeah, they're looking at it like, oh, here's a restaurant, and there's nothing. I'm like, no, never.
But I'm saying we've had movies where as soon as you pull in the place, and there's always sometimes a character standing outside the diner or the gas station that looks sketch, and they still go, yeah, we'll still do it. Like, yeah, bro. Guess what? You got your hints, all right? You got your fucking... That dude that's down there going, where are y'all from?
There's two mechanics staring at him.
Yeah.
As soon as they park, all the way into the restaurant.
If I walk into a diner and everybody stops talking and looks at me and goes, out of town or something.
No, fuck no.
I go, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Because if they... Yeah, because that maybe our main characters, that would have helped him out.
Yeah, maybe. Then we wouldn't have had a movie, though. So
that's true.
Right.
I know.
There's a few other things that we wouldn't have a movie with.
Bitch.
Like, there's a few other things that if they had or if it had happened, they would.
If there were smarter decisions, we'd have like a 5-minute movie.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So tonight on Killer or Filler, and we had to debate about that literally before recording. We were going to do a chopping block.
We did some research.
And we're like, wait a minute. No, this constitutes as a killer or filler. So here you go. Talking about the 2008 film Strangers versus the 2024 relaunch, as we found out.
Yep.
Strangers First Chapter. Yeah, I am Lowdown.
F.U. Hunter. What's up, you shotgun blasting to the face bitches?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you do it. If you got one shot, make it count. To the face.
To the face.
And then you go, oh, shit, who was that?
And, all right, before we dig too deep any more into this film, I would please ask that you like, comment, rate, review, share, subscribe across all the social spaces and Twitter stuffs and X, or I guess Twitter X, whatever it's called.
X. Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, thank you. The Bandits Boys appreciate it. All right. So, yeah, they had every single, but I guess there really wasn't a harbinger. It was more just like the whole town. Like, dude, the entire town was pretty much in this diner. And you see the town twice in this remake. Remember he goes to get the burgers afterwards, and it's like their bar.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know.
Everybody seems friendly-ish, but kind of sketchy-ish too. Yeah,
like the nicest girl. But I was trying to figure out if she was the girl with the cap on. I think she was the baby doll face. The doll is a doll face, the pinup, and then the scarecrow. And I think like she's the one that had the shotgun to the head that the dumbass Ryan boyfriend kept talking and didn't shoot her. God damn it!
As they do, like I'm gonna fucking do it.
Dude, you know they say this and that. Dude, motherfucker, blast her head off.
Guess what she knew?
Yeah,
that you weren't gonna fucking do it.
You bitch.
Yeah.
God, like fuck that, dude. Like blow her fucking head off.
Yeah, but when your hand's shaking, you're like, I'll fucking do it. Like, you know what? Those people don't hesitate to kill the shit out of people. When you're shaking, they know you ain't gonna kill me.
Mm-hmm.
I got you, bitch.
Yeah. It was. God, I was in the theater. I audibly went, ugh. when because Scarecrow came out and then hit him with his shotgun.
Yeah.
No, was it the butt of the axe?
It was butt of the axe.
Butt of the axe. And
I was like, that's interesting. He didn't use the axe part of the axe.
Yeah, I was like, why? Again, why didn't he use the axe part of the axe? You could have cut his arm off, tied a tourniquet around it, and still had the end scene of the film.
Yeah.
It's just been a little cooler to have, an arm cut off.
But I guess that sets up like, oh, he's got the axe, and they go, not the way you think, bitch.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I literally went, ugh, in the theater to this film like 3 times. Only because of stupid decisions. I was like, fuck it, really? God damn it.
But then we'd have a shorter movie. You brought it up, man.
I know. But like, in the 08 Strangers, I didn't do that once. Because I feel like they weren't making stupid choices.
Plus, I think it's because they were freaked out and everything they did, the Strangers had kind of planned out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, I'm gonna distract them. You do this. And they go, I bet he's going to try to distract us. And then she's going to try to run here. Like they already, here it's like, okay, I'm going to run. You run right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they shouldn't catch us. Like, no, dude, like there wasn't any actual plans. It was like some dumb fucking, I tried looking up my phone what to do. So my phone's gone. So I don't know. Like this generation, they're fucked. Because you know what? They're so used to like, let's look up on my phone how to get away from 3 mass killers.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit, I have no coverage. We're fucked.
Yeah, they're dead. They're fucking dead. They're not. There's no surviving a horror film.
The OG one,
mm-hmm.
Flip phone.
Yep.
You ain't looking up shit on that phone except maybe check your text and a few other things. You had to think a little bit more, get that brain working. Here, that's like, I don't know what the phone should have told me. Hey Siri, how do you get away from 3 mass killers?
So I don't know if it's still supposed to be like this is the first time they're doing it, because clearly not, because there's a missing person sign at the diner. Yeah. And you see him get killed right before the titles.
That's the thing that kind of surprised me is I was going into this thinking we're seeing this for the first time. This seems like this is old hat.
Say first chapter? I mean, like,
yeah, maybe. I guess it's first chapter as in the continuation of the surviving character going into the next movie.
It's the relaunch. It's a relaunch of the original. Now, the original one was supposed to go right into production with a sequel, and it was called Strangers Chapter 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, since they're rebooting it, relaunching it, whatever the fuck you want to use, it's not technically a remake. They said relaunch, so I don't know. Jay and Silent Bob went over all this. Remake, reboot, whatever the fuck.
Well, I can tell you straight up, this movie
It's a remake.
And 2008 have the exact same beats.
Well,
I mean,
a little bit. I would say Strangers beats a little bit harder.
With the exception of the town.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the OG was like, we're going to take the time to show you how fucking sad this dude is because he got embarrassed at a fucking party by proposing and getting fucking,
Yeah, and when to which he called, had his boy.
And this movie is like, oh, this couple's so in love, and they stop at a diner. So we have 2 different kind of setups. But
they made a big deal when the town found out they weren't married. And then Ryan, they'd just been dating for 5 years, and then Ryan asked her to marry him at the end right before he gets stabbed in the gut.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they still
utilize cheating, dude.
No, but
hey, I'm about to die. You want to get married?
They still
counts.
They still brought it in. What I'm saying, they still even put that in there like the original.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and like that couple were not vacationing happy couple. They were they having a good time, and then when she said no, he's like called his boys like, hey, come fucking get me.
Yeah.
Fuck this bitch.
Oh, man.
But he still fucks her. Remember, they still have sex in the original.
Do they?
Well, they start to, and that's when they get the knock on the door. See, and what's up with the Tamara thing?
That's they just pick out. I guess
they just pick that. No, it's that same name in the original, in the sequel, Pray at Night, and in this one.
I think it's because it's such a random ass name that they want to be like, it's Tamara. They're like, I'm Tamara. I'm like, no, it's supposed to be somebody that you don't know.
Yeah.
No, you're fucking my shit up. I had this whole thing. I asked for Tamara.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe that's it. They just picked the most random fucking name.
I guess. I don't know. But they use it, and they just so they don't lose consistency, they just keep using the same name.
Can we have an alternate scene where it's like, yeah, I'm Tamara. What's going on? Well, no, you're supposed to not know anybody by that name.
It's got to happen in one of them. Fuck, man.
Yeah, it does.
Also, like, okay, I've thought about this in most home invasion films, but again, you allow yourself, suspension of belief, and so you can enjoy the film. Like the original Strangers, fuck, man, it didn't do well when it came out, but it's got people realize that it's fucking awesome.
Oh, the first Strangers?
Yeah.
It was more, it was definitely a word of mouth cult movie.
That's what I mean, yeah.
After it left theaters, people were like, dude, you want something that's going to fuck with your head? This is it.
Watch Strangers, exactly. So, and it gained a following after it. But, man, this one's like...
There's suspense, but it's so familiar, and the OG was your first kind of experience with these characters. This one, you're doing the exact same motions. Like I will say they did different ways of it, but it just didn't have that same kind of creepy fucking feeling.
No,
and the shower one was pretty good when she's in the fucking shower,
yes,
and he's right there. But there's other ones where it just doesn't work like the OG.
No. And like I mentioned before recording, one thing I think hurt some of the suspense in first chapter is they were getting super close each time, where it wasn't like they were in the distance watching. Like in the shower, he was literally right outside the glass, and that was only the second time you'd seen him. The first time was when she was playing piano, and he was literally 5 feet behind her in a rocking chair. Where if you remember in the original, there were multiple times they're outside and they were still in the tree line. You could see them kind of past their point of, their reference in the frame. They were out in the woods somewhere, or when they were in the house. It might have been the way the cinematography was done too. I remember there's one scene in the house where it's almost up and from a corner, and you see the person come out like Michael Myers style, where it's barely just the face, and then they go back in. And there's a lot of scenes like that in the 08 where they keep their distance for a lot of it.
Thank you for bringing up the Michael Myers thing. There is one thing that bugged the shit out of me in this new one. Michael Myers doesn't run.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where big man, and him in this one, he's a big motherfucker.
He's like Jason size motherfucker.
But he starts
Jason
running.
Voorhees, man.
And you know what I didn't want to see? It's a goofy run.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty fucking goofy. Like, it's a silly ass run. I was like, no. You gotta be badass. You gotta be like Michael and fucking Jason. You just take your time. You can take the big steps, the fast walking, but this dude was running and it looked fucking stupid.
And they really were trying to hone on the scarecrow look, I feel like, or the Jason Part 2 Sackhead Jason look, because they gave him like flannel. Remember in the first two, he was wearing a suit jacket.
I know, he's very like dressed up like, I'm here to kill you and then go to a nice, opera.
Yeah, I feel like
a good meal at a nice restaurant.
I feel like they changed all their outfits up to definitely be more rural to match the town.
Yeah.
And again, this is a reboot, so I mean, I guess I'm not expecting to see everything be the same, or a remake, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But
all right, I'm just gonna throw it out there. You're showing your hand a little bit in the scene where they're in the diner, and I'm gonna throw it out there.
Richard Brake.
Yeah. Fucking Joe Chill from
Richard Brake.
Yeah.
He was the original fucking Game of Thrones. He was the original Night King.
Yeah.
Like, he was in that first couple shots, and then they had to recast him for something.
But
anyway.
as a horror fan,
yeah,
you get into the diner. He's one of the sheriffs. They're sitting at the table. No dialogue. He's there. The camera shows you him, and then nothing.
Never talks.
And
never
you never see
again.
the rest of the movie. Now, as you say, is chapter 1. We're gonna have another one. You kind of giving a little away that you're showing an actor like that, and he's not doing anything.
But he can't. He's at least in on it, but he's definitely not the dude, because that dude's fucking huge. That's a muscle motherfucker.
No, but it makes me feel more, okay. We're going to get intricate towns involved with this. And I just wish they hadn't done that.
So, I don't know. Like, again, it's called first chapter, or chapter 1, whatever. And if you look it up, there's a chapter 2 and a chapter 3. And I found out they were all filmed not at the same time where you think chronologically. They were filmed literally simultaneously. Like, I was reading an article from the director. He said, in the morning we'd shoot a big scene from, chapter 3, and then in the afternoon we'd shoot a big scene from chapter 1.
That shit straight?
And then when we need a night scene in chapter 2, so we're going to film that at night on the same day. Like, that's insane. That's insane.
That's the editor being like, "Fuck you, dude.
Yeah, no shit.
Go fuck yourself." Oh shit! Did I give you some of the film from chapter 3? You know you're editing
and the director's like,
2.
"Oh no, it's very I know it's very taxing for the actors. 'Cause, you got to get different scar makeup and different this and that." I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker."
Yeah.
What the But yeah, so these are all already filmed. They're all filmed in 22. So they're ready to go. Like I said, I heard and saw that the chapter 2 is looking to be released in like November or fall of this year, 2024. That's now unless that has been updated, because do we know was chapter 1 supposed to be released last year?
No, it was set for this time.
All right,
it was a May release.
All right, well, I don't know, dude. It's saying if you look it up, it says fall of 24. Now they haven't given us a month, so that maybe because they're already announcing stuff for the fall now. So I don't know, maybe that's telling us it might be next May.
But real quick, there's just so many beats that they were just like, let's continue from the OG. You got the 2 fucking kids, the Mormon kids on bikes. You've got both the couple at the end just sitting there as they're pretty much like fucking with them and stab them. But then they're like, okay, where in the OG, you have that last second thing of Liv Tyler like waking up when the kids are in there.
Mm-hmm.
This one,
no.
She wakes up, but she's in the hospital.
Oh yeah, she's not. But I mean, like, there was no the kids didn't show themselves again. The kids were in the beginning of this one, and then the fucking burger joint place went like hand out a pamphlet. So I really hope
fucking pamphlet, I believe
it's the same pamphlet.
Yeah, because they handed it to them in the truck on the OG.
I really hope that by the time we get to chapter 3 of this new trilogy, that it's just not some religious shit like.
Or how do they make those hamburgers?
Well,
I don't know, man. I'm just fucking with that.
That could be true, but I will say in the first, another similarity is when they ask why you're doing this, is like, because you were home. Well, in this one, it's because you were here.
Yeah.
But still, it's, same thing. So as far as we know, there's no rhyme or reason. So if we're going with the fact that there's a whole town involvement, that's kind of, I don't know, because it seems like there's still no rhyme or reason why they're doing it.
Yeah. Unless
the town might know that it's happening, but the town might not know who it is.
Unless it's just a town of like, they're all psychopaths.
They're all taking turns.
So you get to be the guy, the sackhead. You get to be this chick there, and they take turns, terrorizing people. And like, all right, you're on cleanup this time, and they have this house set up. Mm-hmm. But then you get the owner that gets shot in the face. So I don't think that would really work.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if it's like the whole town's in on it. The whole town just might know it's somebody in the town doing it. They just don't know who. I don't know, because you're right. The guy who owns the house that's now an Airbnb, which is another thing you didn't have in 08. The original was Airbnb.
Yeah.
And they call it because the fridge is out, and they think it's the big axe dude on the porch, and
And just like the OG, except it wasn't Dennis from fucking Sunny.
Yeah.
Do we even see the owner's face?
We see what's left.
Okay, yeah.
We see what's left, which I might add is the only gory part in this fucking movie.
It really is. Yeah.
Because one thing they don't do in the chapter 1 or the first chapter is they don't fuck with them nearly as much.
Yeah.
Like after the distance part of 08, where they kept their distance, once they started fucking with them, they were like beating them, and whenever they would cut them. Like there was always, whenever they had an altercation, there was a new wound. If I'm remembering that correctly, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like these guys didn't get fucked with nearly as much.
Not as much. And I mean, the closest you get is to like when they're out in the woods. Mm-hmm. I think is where they.
But still, it was just like her big thing. One of her big things when they first split up in the woods, and this new one was where she had to hide. There was the decomposing body next to her, and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then dumbass drops his inhaler, and he squeezes the bottle thing. I'm like, dude, my man, what the fuck?
But I mean. I never complained with the first one because there's not a lot of gore in there. It's just that suspense. So this one's just kind of retread with less suspense.
Yes. And it did make up for it like Prey at Night did, say, with less suspense and better kills. Like the gore was heightened because it's more of a 1980s film.
Is a slasher, 80s slasher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this new film couldn't decide if it was going to be a 70s suspenseful film, which, it did know it wasn't going to do that because it didn't do any suspense, but then it didn't bring in anything from the 80s or the 90s even. There's no like it's so unstylized.
It's frustrating.
Did you say that's the right word? It's like unstylized.
Yeah. Again, it was so stealing from the handbook of the original that I just was like, there's nothing new here really.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna watch between the two, like I have such a love for the original that I don't need to cheat on the exact. It's like dumping your girlfriend for a chick that looks kind of like her, but like there's not anything there, man. It's the same. It's the same movie, but just modern.
And I will say, like, folks, what I meant by like they fucking with the couple in the '08 film more was like, okay, yeah, there's a scene in the new one where they escape the house and run to the shed. When that shit happened, when they left the house in the original, like there's scenes where they're like having to crawl because they got injured.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't get any of that. They were basically just moving from place to place and then realizing that someone was already in the place and getting the shit scared out of them. Pretty much the whole movie in this new one. Where the old one, like they were, like I said, it was like pure will of survival that they were getting around where they wanted to go. Right. I mean,
I would say when you're in the house, it seemed like in the OG, like the camera wouldn't tug at you and go, look over there. He's standing right there. You know, like you had that scene where Liv Tyler is like fucking with the fire and like Dude Man is like in the hallway and he shows up, but the camera doesn't turn and say, he's right there. Yeah. This movie, every single time, they're right there. Like, no, I want to discover when they're like showing up and fucking with
That's
them.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you lose all that. Like, so they weren't doing so they were trying to do suspense, right? So I'll take back what I said prior. They were trying to do suspense, but they just weren't executing it properly. Or is that what modern day suspense is?
I think so.
God damn it.
I do appreciate they use the record player again.
Man, they do. Yeah, they did use a record player. But,
so that at least that was kind of cool because they're playing the old style record. I do like that.
No, that was cool. It's just like, God damn it, man. Like, I didn't know what to expect with this film, but
yeah, that's kind of the review.
Yeah, just like, I actually like just watched it earlier today that we're recording this, and when I got home later in the day, like when you saw it, I was rewatching the second one.
Yeah,
I came in. I think I like the second one a little more now.
It's weird because I know a lot of people did not like the remake or the relaunch or whatever we're calling it. And I'm not that angry about it. I'm just like,
no.
It's just like,
all right. It's not terrible. It would be better if the 08 never existed.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
And this movie would be way better.
We got a better comparison. We got a better movie. Like, I mean, that's how it is.
We got a better movie. Yeah. Exactly. All right, folks. Well, if you can't tell, where we're at about this film, we will give you our verdict in just a second. But beforehand, please hit us up at lowdownbrown.gy@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about the film. Have you seen all three? Is this the first one you saw? If this is the first Strangers film you saw,
I'm kind of curious
let us.
about that.
Because I want to know how you feel about the film, because I guarantee it's probably totally different. Like, I wonder how you would feel if you watched this, then went back and watched the 08, and how you would then compare the two, right? Because we're coming from, I remember seeing the original in theaters, and then
I watched the original literally a couple hours before I watched this.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's
I know.
Even worse, man.
And because I had no idea that we were going to go beat for beat. So I can tell you for sure everything else is the same.
All right. So, but hit us up at lowdownbrown.gy@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your opinions. We've gotten a couple, actually, recommendations, not through the email, but you can also message us on Instagram and Facebook. I've gotten a couple through social media. So,
sweet.
They're on the list. We will get to them sometime this year. And, all right. Man, I left the theater thinking like, okay, well, because it was going to be on the chopping block. And I'm like, I'm not mad at it. It survives the chopping block. But, dude, like, the more, I don't know. I think it's a more of a filler remake. The first one.
This is a right down the middle for me. Because if I have the choice between the two,
I'm going to watch 08. 100%.
I'm going to watch 08.
Yeah.
But I know when Chapter 2 or Part 2 or whatever we're fucking calling it.
Chapter 2, I think.
Comes out. I can watch this and I'm not like, fuck, I have to watch this. Where
True.
there's certain movies.
True. Yeah.
There's certain movies that I know, like, I should probably watch it, so I'm up on it going into the sequel, and I'm like, this is gonna suck.
It's gonna suck balls.
Here, at least, I'm like, I can watch this. It's not gonna piss me off, and I'll give it a little distance from watching the 2008. That maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit more, but it's not gonna be painstaking having to rewatch it to get into it.
All right, that is fair. I did not hate this film.
Yeah.
At all. Like, I wasn't mad that I saw it. It's funny, like, when the usher came in, because I waited through all the post-credit stuff until I saw rolling credits, and then I walked out, and the usher came in to start cleaning, and he asked if I liked it, and I said, yeah, it was good.
That's a
it
perfect
was
way to
good.
describe it.
He's like, no. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, it was good. I'm like, it was okay. Like, but then he asked a couple. He was young, and I don't think he'd seen anything. Like, and same thing with the.
Is he even allowed to watch radar movies?
I don't know. Same thing with the young woman working the counter when I went in. She was like, oh, I've seen the movie, the poster and all that stuff, but I don't know anything about that stuff. And I was just like, oh, it's the original 08 one I just said was a very, very dark home invasion film.
Yeah.
And I just looked at that. She was like, oh, I'm like, yeah. So I don't know if maybe the younger kids, again, if they that's two people I met that have no idea what the franchise or the film series is, because I'm not really going to call it a franchise. Because these three that are coming out are complete standalones. They're not connected at all to the original, so it's more of like I'd say a film series. So if they're seeing this new one first, might be a whole different thing.
Plus, I'll throw this out there. We've done a pretty decent amount of killer fillers, and there's been some really shit the bed.
This is a filler that I would rewatch.
Exactly.
So
that's why I had to put it in the medium, because I can't really put it in the filler.
But it's definitely not a killer. It's not a killer.
That's what I'm saying. There's like, it's a floater. I don't know. It's a fucking floater,
so
right?
It's still a shit. It's just a floater.
Yeah, it's a floater.
Are we creating a new category?
I have no idea. I'm trying to figure out that medium ground area of.
It's a filler that you rewatch. That's about as middle as you can go with just having killer or filler.
It's a rank fart. I don't know, man. We'll figure out some kind of grading system on these, like right down the middle.
Like I said, I think that there's not a lot of those where we've had fillers that we would rewatch.
Yeah.
So I think calling it a filler that I won't own, but if when it goes streaming, and again when Chapter 2 comes out, I rewatch it before 2, and then whenever 3 comes out, I rewatch both of them. Betting if two's ass, fuck, I don't give a shit. We don't know.
I'm really curious if I can run into people that are watching just this one, have never seen the OG, and what their opinion is.
Yeah, dude, I really want to know. I really want to see that find somebody, because even now, I mean, unless you're alive during and actively going into the film or into horror movies in 08, there's still people now that are already haven't seen Strangers.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2008.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
God damn, it was 16 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a while.
It's been
to us, we're like, 2008. Like, oh, wait, when I do the math, that has been a while.
It's 16 years. Fuck.
Like, just think about this. That the year that movie came out, that Usher could have been born in that year, and they could work at Regal.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Iron Man came out in 08, too.
I know.
God damn.
So.
Fucking. Did 30 Days a Night come out in 08?
07.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
All right. So. But yeah, definitely hit us up, please. If this is your first time, hit us up. Let us know. I'm solid on it's a killer that I don't hate and I would rewatch.
Yeah,
if it's on. I mean, it's a filler. Excuse me. I said filler, right?
Now you said killer.
God damn it!
No, I was about to. I was like, yeah.
No,
you said you.
No. Slip of the tongue. It is a filler that I wouldn't mind rewatching. That's where I'm at. I will never own it. But it would have to be on streaming for free, and I would put it on.
Yeah, it's a kill fill for me.
Kill fill.
Where literally it doesn't get the full either way. Kill fill. Kill fill. Again, I'll probably watch it before I watch Chapter 2. Because
the only reason this movie, I am where I am with this film is because the 08 is so fucking good.
You know how I know it's not a filler? Because we're still going to watch Chapter 2.
Yeah.
And there's been movies where I was like, nope, I don't need to see the sequel. Fuck that. And this one I'll give it a chance. So right there,
fair enough.
It's a kill fill.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you got a good point. So we'll call it. That's the new one. It's a kill fill, dude. This is like the 2. This is like the second one since we've been doing these. And we started this segment. This was before on the chopping block. We blew our load on killer fillers a lot during pandemic.
I know.
But we should have started. We should have figured out the on chopping block thing sooner, because I went back and looked. There's tons of killer fillers that came out throughout like pretty much all of 2020. But as
we see, Hollywood's still doing them.
Yeah, no shit.
So, there you go.
But it's kill fill. I think so this ranks 2 on the list of all the killer fillers we've done. So, all right, that's it. Till we talk again. Embrace the madness.
Join us at GUIPodcast.com.